What a Gucci day it is, guys. Hello and welcome back to Calculator Part 2 and I believe the overall Part 6 of this Java tutorial series by the Apple Juice. Now, in this tutorial we're going to be finishing up the calculator tutorial and I'm going to be showing you guys how to actually call these methods and address this code and print it out inside the console here, which can be found by pressing this button. Also, if the console is not on your little bar, you can find it by going to, I believe, Window, Show View, and clicking Console. And if it's not there like it is on mine, it probably is under Other, and you can find it somewhere in the mystical universe. The console can be found under the General tab in the Show View menu. Just simply go down to General, and it is right there. It is. And I could just click OK and it would pop up. Okay, now as you can see, I still have the same code from the last tutorial except for what I just deleted there, but trust me, we'll be getting to that soon. And we're going to add one more mathematical operation to this calculator. I'm going to introduce you guys into the mod function. Now let's make another method. We're going to call it mod duck. And we're going to take another parameter of num. And what we're going to do here is we're going to set duck equal to duck. And then we're going to do a parenthesis sign number here. And now what the mod application does, or operation, sorry, is it leaves the remainder of the number. So when you were in 3rd grade and you learned about division, you learned about remainders, and that's exactly what the mod function does. The mod function gives the remainder of the number. So let's say duck is 10 and I put mod 3. That would num goes into duck 3 times with a remainder of 1, and that's what duck would then be equal to. Also, I believe I can still do, my bad, I need an equal sign, dummy AJ, and it will again do what like the previous operations have done with this and this, where it already knows I'm using the duck variable, taking the mod of the duck variable, and then reassigning what the output I got from this action to the duck variable. Okay, well, this mod function actually has some very good principles, which we are going to go over. Okay, so now we've got a pretty basic calculator. It can't do any powers or any square roots or anything, but it can do what we want it to do. So we're going to actually test this code, and testing is a very big thing. So right now we're going to run the code in Eclipse, and we do that by making a method called public static void main string args. Now I know, once again, you guys, if you're looking at this and typing this code, you're like, oh, what does static mean? What does all this stuff mean? What do these brackets mean? Oh my god, what is main? But make sure, unlike all these other methods, that you have this method named exactly the way I've typed it. Everything else could be typed differently as long as you've got the same operators and such. But you need everything to be the exact same. Main must be the same, static void must be the same, and string args must be the same. Now, what Java is doing here is that when I click the run button, which we're going to click in a second, Java automatically looks for the main method and then runs it. And so this is how we're going to get the code to print out in the console. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make a juice object. And we do this by saying juice equals new juice. And what I'm doing here is I'm creating, again, an instance of the object juice, and I'm assigning it to the variable AJ. And AJ has type juice, just like duck has type int, which stands for integer. So now AJ is the variable which is referring to that object. So AJ is pointing to the juice object, which is somewhere in space. Now, all I've done by declaring a new juice object is I've ran the constructor. I've said, okay, make this new juice object and and you're automatically going to run the constructor because that's what constructors do. They automatically run, and you know duck is going to be initialized to 10. Well, let's say we want to take the we want to make the duck variable 15, so we want to add it. What we're going to do is I'm going to take the variable which is referencing the object, and then I'm going to say period or dot, and then I'm going to use the method add to duck, which, as you can see, a drop down menu may appear for you, or you could type it in. If I pressed enter right now, the method would automatically pop up, and I could simply do that, or I could type it out, whichever way. Eclipse makes that very easy for you. And let's say I want to add 5 to duck. So now it's compiled, there's no errors, and I'm adding 5 to duck. I am now making duck to 5. Now let's run this and see if anything happens. Well, you run it by clicking this run juice button. And as you can see, I'm running it and nothing is happening. Don't worry, that's supposed to happen. But remember when I said it was going to print out in the console? Stuff should be printing out in this console, like the number 15. Well, the reason because nothing is printing out to the console is because I need to tell the method to print out to the console. And